Ladies and gentlemen, I am Lieutenant Colonel Carlos Vega, the one who's been spamming you for the last 2 months. I am the Director of Outreach for the Army Cyber Institute and the Master of Ceremonies for this historic event. Let me open with an administrative note. Around you, you will find individuals with name tags that say ACI. If you have any requirements or you need something, please do not hesitate to reach out to one of us and state your requirement, and we'll see what we can do about it. The goal of this inaugural event is to strengthen the ties between industry and government organizations, to better secure the internet, share best practices, and foster stakeholder partnerships to defend and defeat threats facing the nation. We're in this together. At this time, I would like to introduce Colonel Conti, who will actually do the official welcome for the event. Colonel Conti is a director of the Army Cyber Institute, a military intelligence officer, an associate professor with the Computer Science Department at the United States Military Academy. Colonel Conti.
Thanks, Colonel Vega. Every organization should have an extrovert, and as you probably have seen, he's ours. And it's also the Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. So it's it's a team sport there. Thank you so much for coming. Distinguished guests, senior leaders, subject matter experts. It's the Army Cyber Institute and Palo Alto Network's pleasure to welcome you to this summit. We know your schedules are extremely busy, and we appreciate your making time. As I was at the social last night, I realized every single person in the room has a tremendous backstory, and to see that group of people really from different areas, different backgrounds, all coming together and discussing the subject of cybersecurity, it was really the intent of what we're trying to accomplish here. So we deeply appreciate your strong interest and support, because again, making time in your schedules, we know how busy everyone is. We've got representation from all the service academies, from all the services, from across industry and academia to join us here today, as well as thought leaders from the information security space. And as Carlos mentioned, I truly believe, and I think you'd recognize, that we're truly living in historic times. Cybersecurity and cyber operations really present a critical national threat. Many would argue, and I personally believe, a potentially existential threat to our country and our way of life. And that all future conflict will almost certainly include a significant cyber component. This provides opportunity and, as the most technologically advanced nation on earth, significant risk. At the same time, in this context, the efficiencies we gain through the use of information technology in commerce and the governing of our country and in our daily lives really presents unprecedented opportunity. So what we need to do then is maximize the risks. It's the only viable way ahead. There is no panacea on the horizon. And at the same time, we have to minimize the disadvantages. No organization, no government has the resources to solve or address this problem. And that's why we're here today. Because the solution truly lies in a whole-of-nation approach that brings together the best minds and the best thinking across all the sectors to seek solutions, actionable solutions, things that can actually be acted upon to protect our democracy while preserving our freedoms and way of life. Working toward this end is our purpose here today, and we've strived to make a high-impact agenda. If you look at the agenda, I think we've got some really important topics. This isn't an easy subject, so we've brought together some groups to tackle some hard problems. So some administrative notes. We're working with West Point's Department of History to help document this historic era of which you are all key players. So the Center for Oral History will be conducting optional interviews. And I think these are a great thing. If you go there, you'll see people that served in the Battle of the Bulge, and they tell their story. We're living a historic era as well, and the Center for Oral History has agreed. So if you'd like to spend and do a short interview to help capture kind of your thinking today, I think future generations will value that greatly. The event has generated national media attention, which is, I think, a great thing. Media representatives will be available to conduct interviews throughout the day. In addition, they'll be filming the first portion of the event. So if you're wondering what's on the record and what's off the record, you can look in your program, and it basically shows you that up through the keynote, the events will be filmed. After that, we're going to employ the Chatham House rule. Media will not be present. This means that summit participants are free to use the information they receive, but not attribute it to the affiliation or identity of the specific source. So what we're doing is we have rapporteurs taking notes, and they're going to provide a generalized report at the end of probably several weeks after the event that we're going to then release. But again, it'll be non-attribution. Finally, at 0900 tomorrow, we're offering an information session on the Army Cyber Institute to help you learn more about the organization and the means and advantages of working with us. If you're interested, please see Lieutenant Colonel Carlos Vega, who you just saw here briefly, or Dr. Fernando Maimi, who's the Deputy Director of the Army Cyber Institute. As you know, organizing and running any high-impact and polished event is an arduous task. There are many people to thank. I'm just going to thank the teams rather than the individuals because so many people had hands involved. But I'd like to thank the teams at Palo Alto, at the Army Cyber Institute, across USMA and General Caslin in particular, the Thayer staff, the Association of Graduates, the panelists who've agreed to take part in the discussions, and really each of you, because again, we know how busy you are in making the time for this event. It's really your participation that makes it all worthwhile. So may I ask for a quick round of applause for all their hard work in making this event.